Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. We're pretty excited this week because we are launching a brand new stamp set that was designed exclusively for Ellen Hutson by Lawn Fawn as part of our United We Flourish program. And this set has some really cheeky monkeys and a couple of really fun accent images like bananas and leaves and a little swinging jungle vine, etc. in the set. And I'm just going to create a simple scene. So I've grabbed the images I wanted to work with and I'm going to mount those inside the lid of my Mini Misty so I can stamp them all simultaneously. This is Neenah Solar White, 110 pound that I'm working with, and it's loaded inside the Mini Misty stamp positioning tool. I used the Tuxedo Black Memento ink because I wanted to color with Copic markers, and this is the best ink for coloring with Copic markers, especially because it dries so fast. It's a dye ink that dries really fast. You can also use pigment inks as long as they are completely dry, but they take longer to dry, of course, than the dye ink will. And I'm going to start by taking some sand and coloring in especially the body of the monkey and parts of his tail and his legs and arms and ears, etc., because I want to give those areas the deepest, richest brown. He's not going to be a super dark monkey. He's going to keep kind of a light tone of brown, and sand works pretty well for that. And you'll see me intensifying different areas by laying down even more color or going over a few spots to add a deeper intensity of color, and then other areas I might leave a softer swipe of color or no color at all because I want to have some highlight there. So then once I'm done adding my base coat of color here, I'm going to come back in with eggshell. I decided I wanted to give a little light base coat of eggshell to his face. Then I'm going to go and start blending the colors out in the sand areas. So the highlight of white area that's not been colored is going to get blended into the sand colored area using the eggshell, or in some cases the milky white. Now for his cheeks I decided to use blush. That's probably my favorite color for doing blush on facial features to get the little cheeks done, and then I came back in with milky white to blend that out again into the eggshell that I'd already laid down on his face. And then this is going to give him a bit more of a natural effect instead of just a stark white. And I also use the eggshell to trace around the outer edges of the banana and the interior of the peel to give it more of a realistic off-white effect. And then the banana peel itself is going to be done in some yellows. I think I started out with an acid yellow and then came back in with just a regular yellow. And I'm also going to highlight the very tips of these leaves there on the little jungle branch. Come in with a darker yellow there on the banana peel just to give some shading, just a touch. And then I'm going to start shading in the leaves with some greens. And I started with new leaf, and then I came in with the even deeper lettuce color just to give it some real nice variation there. And I don't do anything real fancy. I just kind of quickly flick that color back and forth till I'm happy, and then I'm ready to die cut everything. Now I haven't actually taken apart the dies. I only separated the two smallest ones that were nested, and I just kept it together and decided, you know what, I can do this because I cut the images apart and it makes it pretty easy. You don't necessarily have to separate all the dies. So I just kind of took those pieces and anchored them underneath with a little bit of painter's tape there. This is a low tack tape that's going to hold everything in place just to keep it from shifting, and it's kind of a nice way to do the die cutting. I hadn't thought about it before really all that much, and then I was like, hey, that works kind of spiffy because then I don't have the dies all loose and everything. I can just hang on to the whole plate when I'm positioning it, etc. So maybe that's an option you'd like to try for your die cutting. So anyway, I'm going to take two of the sentiments and combine them together on a piece of craft cardstock, which I already prepped with an anti-static pouch. I'm going to ink up with a Versamark, and this is an embossing ink, and go ahead and impress that to the craft cardstock. This is Neenah Desert Storm, and it adds some Hero Arts white embossing powder. I did preheat my heat gun for about 30 seconds, and then I'm just going to go ahead and quickly heat emboss that. And the reason I staggered the sentiment is I wanted to create this effect where I'm going to split the sentiment apart and 3D mount it to the front of the card. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my tonic guillotine or bypass trimmer to get those cut into nice strips. And I've got some of that Essentials by Ellen wood grain white cardstock that I just took a quarter sheet and mounted that to the front of my base card, which is a Neenah Solar White A2 card, just pretty standard. And then I'm just going to futz around a little bit here and get my positioning and placement make sure that my layout's going to work. And then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more color. So I grabbed the card, stuck it in a box, and spritzed on some mustard colored Color Shine by Heidi Swapp. And I love the sparkle and just that little splash of color there in that corner. And then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of all the images so that I can 3D pop them up. So we'll just get some little bits there on the backs of all those. And I have some foam tape again on my little sentiment strips here, but this was the effect I was trying to create. I just really like that. I think it really accents the sentiment, and since it would be hard to stamp that on the wood grain paper because it has a very definite texture to it, it would be hard to get a crisp impression on that. So it's easier to go ahead and mount that separately on separate piece of cardstock. And then once those are in place and I've got the liner removed, I can go ahead and get my banana and my monkey in place. Now I added a little bit of dot tape runner there on the back of that branch because I wanted to hook his tail over that and make sure that it was anchored on that. And then I'm going to go ahead and mount everything as one unit there to the front of the card. And it's a little bit offset because I think it worked really well with the layout here. And I also have some foam tape on the back side of the little banana, get that mounted into place. And then once I'm sure everything is in place, I'm going to go ahead and add some Stickles glitter glue to just embellish the leaves and the banana peel there. And it's such a cute card. We have more still shots available at the Classroom blog. All the supplies available at ellenhutson.com. Thanks for watching.